are some other dilemmas or they're facing, or some other choices or options they do not have or they do have?
Well, sometimes you have some folks, it's the economic dependence. If they leave, again, what's in their name? What can they take with them? What, the financial resources, are they there? You have some victims who aren't able to work, and, based on their relationship, or some, a lot of things, everything's in their name, but
Mhm.
they cannot support themselves without that, the support of that partner. So they're
Wow.
they're leaning on the financial support that that person gives. So just the finances in itself. So that economic dependence. If the car is in their partner's name, the abusive partner's name, um, maybe they're the ones paying the bills in the home, or maybe it is their home and they do need to leave, but that car is in their partner's name. That's a
Mhm.
hard choice to make then, because they can simply, they can report the car stolen if they want to,
Right.
because it's in their name. So the economic dependence also is a big barrier.
Wow. So at the safety, economic dependency. So what else would hinder them from leaving?
The embarrassment of it all. Some
Mm.
people, we don't talk about domestic violence like we should. A lot of people don't want people to know that they're in an unhealthy relationship. So, who can I talk to about this? They're afraid to talk to certain people about it, and they're afraid of what people might say if they find out that this is what's been going on in their relationship. And one of the things that also happens in an unhealthy relationship is I always say that the abusive party is a master manipulator. So they have a way of, in this cycle of abuse, isolating them from friends and family. So, they don't have those people to immediately be able to reach out to get the support that they need. They've been cut off from people. And so it's hard all of a sudden, I would talk to this person for 4 months and now I want to reach out for help.
Wow.
And again, it's not it can be an embarrassing situation. So it's difficult for a person, if they've been in this for a while, and people, so again, sometimes they're hiding it. Sometimes people have noticed things, but because they stayed, the people don't treat them the same. But then they've also been isolated. And, I have to say too, sometimes the victim, even though they're not happy with the situation, they've been with this person for a while. So they have a certain sense of loyalty to the person.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
they love the person, but they don't like the person, and the things that they're doing. So, and it's hard. And I think that's one of the biggest things that, makes it hard for a person to leave the relationship. They love the person, they just don't like the behaviors.
Right.
So there's this hope, they hold on to this hope that things will get better. So,
Wow.
things, and in that cycle, there's a lot of apologies that take place. They'll say they're sorry for their behavior. They're not going to do it again. They may not do that specific thing again, but there's still, those abusive behaviors that rise. So, there's love for this person, but they don't like what's happening. So, it's something that's, they have to toggle with. So when you, put that love along with the fact, where am I going to go? What are people going to say when they hear that, I want to leave? Um, you know, where am I going to go?
Yeah.
All these things kind of, make a person hesitate on what they need to do.
Wow. So with the safety, economic dependency, embarrassment, or the shame, what else is there that will keep
Oh,
them?
in some situations, there's language barriers. So we have some
Hmm.
folks that, because, there's a language barrier, it's hard for them to reach out to other people to access the resources. Um, some people, because if they grew up in an environment where there was abuse, the abuse kind of starts to seem normal. So again, it's not something that they like, but they've learned it as growing up. It was in their household growing up. Excuse me, maybe they were abused as a child. So it almost becomes normal, and they learn how to manage it. So again, it's not something they like, but if they can manage it, they're okay with it. And, that's something, I have to say, I do education for victims. And with our younger folks, something that I hear a lot from them is, oh, I know how to handle him. So if he's coming at me, I know what to do, to slow him down. So they kind of feel like as long as they can manage it, they know it's
Mm,
aggressive, they know it's physical, but if they can manage it, they feel like it's okay. But again, that comes from maybe growing up in an environment where that's what they saw, or maybe they were abused as a child. So that becomes kind of the norm, and they just figure out how to manage the behaviors.
wow.
There's a lot of things. So, after a person's been in an unhealthy relationship for a while, especially if there's that physical abuse, or I'm sorry, well, physical and, the emotional abuse, if you're told you're useless, you're worthless, you're so dumb, look how much weight you're gaining, the self esteem starts to go down, their
That's a
confidence
good one.
level starts to go down. So, they feel like, well, maybe this is all I deserve. Maybe this is where, I've done this to myself. So they almost start to feel like, their self-esteem is in such a place where I probably, should just stay.
Wow.
Um, and again, we kind of talked about the behaviors become kind of like a norm. So some people, there's a denial that the situation is really that bad. So
Mm,
again, if I can manage it, there's a denial that it's not really that bad.
right.
So yeah, but sometimes there's that feeling of helplessness. Where will I go? What will I do? Who will listen to me? And unfortunately, I know that some people have reached out for help and they didn't get the response that they could have gotten. So it's just like, why should I even try? It's probably easier for me to just stay here. So, the thing about it is, everybody's situation is a little different. So, we've talked about a lot of different things. So it can be one of those things, it can be a combination of those things. Um, it can be even something different. We have some folks because of traditional gender roles and value sets, and
Hmm.
even religion. They feel like, okay, we got to figure out how to make this work. So they don't realize the, the level of how unsafe it can be for themselves. And if children are involved, they're just feeling like, okay, this is what we're supposed to do. So this is how we're going to manage this.
So in cases where they really don't want to leave and they feel that they can, by the grace of God, they can really work this out, and they come to you. I mean, do you have couples that come to Journey or call Journey, say, "Hey, we need help. We want to change the way we interact with on each other. It's been some abuse." Has there been cases like that as well?
Yeah, actually, we see more of the victim coming forward. We don't see a lot of couples. And I think because we are a victim service agency, so I'm sure couples do reach out to different places to, say, hey, this is not, we're moving in the wrong direction. What kind of help can we get? But we get a lot of victims who have not yet made a decision to leave.
Hmm.
So, what we do with those victims is, we still work with victims who are in their relationship. We just want to make sure that they're safe, so we do
Hmm.
safety planning with them. If there's children involved, let's safety plan around the children. Unfortunately, you have some children, it's hard for them to watch people that they love be hurt, so they will get involved. So if there's a physical altercation going on, they'll try to get in the middle of it. So let's talk to the kids about what they should do if something happens. Let's talk about what's the safest room in the house? What's a code for the kids? We even talk about having like that to go bag. If maybe things have been okay for a while, but if things seem to spark up, have that bag where you could just pick up and leave, with your essentials. So like documents, medications. I always tell people, leave your keys when you go in the house, put your keys in the same spot. So if you have to leave in a hurry, you know exactly where they are. You don't have to fumble around looking for those keys. So just safety planning, and then just making folks aware of what their choices are, and what those outcomes could look like. We can't predict everything, but we can just let them know there are these resources available to you. So we still work with folks who are in, have not made the decision to leave, but the priority is, what can we do to keep you safe, at this time.
Yes, yes. So you mentioned in early in our conversation that a lot of the shelters are full. And so in this case too, so we want to talk about resources and them reaching out. So what I mean, it's evident that we need more shelters. We need more domestic violence shelters. It's just, yeah, flat out. We need that. So in this case, if it was someone fresh and ready to leave right now, what would you suggest to them? Or they call, what are their resources right now? What would you tell them? And do you have to explain that, hey, that we may be full? What is the alternative plan?
So if a victim calls and they're in, we do kind of like a screening because we want to support the ones that are, and we want to support everybody, but we're going to look at those who are in imminent danger. They need to flee in this moment, so those will get the high priority. So we will look and see what we have, if we happen to be full. There are other shelters in the community. They're not domestic violence shelters, but they're shelters that they can get away to. So we'll try to work with other shelters, try to see where we can get them. We can call out a county. So there's, every county basically has a shelter. So, if it's something that they're willing to do, to go into another county, we can talk about another county. Now there is some discretionary funds that if somebody is in imminent danger, we can house them in a hotel till we can figure out, and it's just a short-term solution. But, if they're in imminent danger, we want to get them to a safe place. So we are able to work with the High Domestic Violence Network and place them into a hotel. And
That's
again, it's a very short-term solution, but it's at least getting them to a place that's safe and we can kind of start working from that point.
Yes, that's good. And then are they escorted as well? Police escort to make sure they get there. Is that part of the whole safety planning and
Yes.
moving them a way of escape? That's good. That's
Yes,
really good.
yes, we'll make sure that whatever the move is, it's done in a safe and coordinated way. So yeah, we definitely, that's our priority is the safety piece. If you call our helpline, the first thing that they're going to say is, Journey Center helpline, is it safe to talk? If it's
Yes.
not safe, we want to figure out what can we do. Let's wait till it's safe, so that we don't create more confusion or put this person at a higher risk.
That's so good. All right. So tell everyone where they can contact Journey Center for Safety and Healing.
Absolutely. Journey Center has a 24-hour helpline that an individual can call or text. You see it there on my screen. It is 216-391, the word help, which is 4357. You can call or text that number, or if you go to our website, you can do a live chat. But we're available 24/7 by phone or by text or by chat. 216-391-4357.
And of course, you can also join the group page, Walk and Talk About It Ministry. If you're needing help, resources as well, feel the need to reach out and we'll get you connected to someone. All right, Carrie, until our next video. Nice seeing you again. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.